Welcome to another early morning Sunday show with Steve Carlson. My name is Russell. I've just been shopping for records with Steve, and stay tuned because this is going to be a great show.
Good morning and welcome to the early morning Sunday show. Exciting, isn't it? I'm so happy you made it. You know, it just shows to show you don't got a whole lot going on in your life if this is what you're doing. So thank you for not having a lot going on in your life and watching for your next half hour. Yeah, it's a half hour. I'm pretty damn consistent. So yeah, okay. So the opening. Actually, this weekend I'm down in York, Nebraska. I'm pretty sure they don't have a record store. If they do, I'll find it. But my niece is getting married down there. So on the way, it's only like 6.5 hours. Not too bad. Back to Nebraska, meet up with a lot of my family. Not everyone's going to be able to make it, but most everyone's going to be there. The opening, the very first, that was from a pool as I was cleaning. That was daybreak. You get up really early and you try to get out there very early before it gets very, very hot. Though this week I went to one pool. It was the biggest pool. So this time of year we're very short-handed, so I'm actually out cleaning pools, which is scary. But so this was our biggest pool that I'm cleaning, which I forgot. I don't know why I got it, but there it is. So I get there and there's 20 lounge chairs thrown in the water. 20. They only have 26 total chairs. I don't know why they didn't bother throwing the other 6 in, but there was 20 of them. What a mess. Now they got charged $150 extra by me because I get to do that. Their pool, someone threw a turd in there. That was $150 too. But yeah, I pulled my chest muscle. I mean, it hurts trying to lift them out of the water. Man, what a mess. But otherwise, the opening scenes were in Leadville. So that's just downtown Leadville that you see that. Beautiful, beautiful town. Really, really cool to see. Really enjoyed it. I also had a VC meetup this week. I was able to meet up with Russell. He lives in Iowa. He's been in Colorado for the past couple of months. He was going home. He got a hold of me because he watches my show and says, hey, you want to meet up? And so we did. And he was in charge of my opening there. So Russell, thank you very much for doing that. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great event, great week. So, speaking of that with VCLT, on Thursday, my video, I went to Wax Tracks. I was there with Tice, Sound of Minder. And Tice, he gave me these 2 albums. This one's from a group called It's Immaterial, and it's Life's Hard and Then You Die. Well, isn't that a bitch, huh? Life's hard and then you die. I believe it's kind of a post-punk. I haven't had a chance really to get into these. I will, and then we'll be doing a review on the Sunday show. And then there was this one he gave me, Agit Pop, and it's Feast of the Sunfish. It's an interesting one, huh? Feast of the Sunfish. Agit Pop. Again, both these groups, zero idea about, so I've listened to them once and I will be in full review. I talked about sunfish. Growing up in Nebraska, or even we'd go up to Minnesota, you go fishing, sunfish was a big one. try to catch some sunnies. You know, they're smaller than that and supposedly good for eating. I always found sunfish to be very, very dry. Was not a big sunfish fan, but they were edible, much better than a carp. So Tice, thank you very much for this. Sound of Minder, please check out his channel. He also did a video on Thursday, talked about what he picked up at the record store that we were at. So wonderful. We're going to get together again, and so hopefully keep meeting. It's been just wonderful to meet him. So thank you, Tice, and thank you, Russell. Fantastic. Folks, if you're in Denver, give me a call. If you're coming through, give me a call. Chances are, we can go out, do something. And my records are falling over. Okay, so one of the albums when I was out with Tice that I picked up was this. And it is the Bevis Frond. Just came out 2024. Did not know the Bevis Frond was putting out an album. It has a pipe sticker. Yay. And it has flowers. Everyone likes poppies. Those are poppies, I'm pretty sure. And what else do we have here? We have beautiful purpley vinyl. Kind of reminds you of Barney, doesn't it? For those of you that remember Barney. And there is a... Come on. No. Here we go. The Bevis Frond. Here's the group. There's Nick Solomon. He is the leader of the group, and we'll talk a little bit about him. Kind of a scary picture, quite honestly. He looks like your weird uncle, you know? Your weird Uncle Nick. Yeah. And there we go. Some of the other people on the album, and we have lyrics there. Very nice. Very nice little insert. Always good to see an insert. So, let's talk about a group that I talk about periodically, actually quite a bit, is I really like it, the Bevis Frond. The Bevis Frond from London, formed in '86. Nick Solomon, though, when he was in college in the late 60s, early 70s, he formed a group called Bevis Frond Museum. Yeah, interesting. And it is Frond, F-R-O-N-D, Bevis Frond Museum. So he likes that, whatever Bevis Frond is. I probably should have looked it up. After college, he was in a guitar duo called Odd Socks. Then in '79, he formed a group called Von Trapp Family. And when he was with Von Trapp Family, he also started his own record label, Warnzow. Something like that. Oh, jeez. I mean, this guy likes different kind of words. But by the mid-'80s, he formed the Bevis Frond. And since then, he has put out 29 albums. A lot of these, he'll play all the instruments himself. This one he did not. He has his own studio down in his basement. So that's what he likes. His inspiration, he loves the sounds of Hendrix, Wipers, and of the Byrds, and a lot of his music has definitely has Byrds with an English feel. I guess that would be the best way to say that. So this is again, his tastes deal more with classic psych, folk rock, and early prog. That's what you're going to find. And he definitely has a fondness for very trippy guitar freakouts. That is his deal. Not much on the back side of this. So this album here, and it's called Focus on Nature. Focus on Nature. And actually, that's the lead-off song. I'll play a sample of that. And it really looks at the environmental crisis that's going on and his feelings about this. This is kind of an angry album, though there's playfulness in it, but he's kind of mad about a lot of things. And on that, on this Focus of Nature, and also on the song Heat. Heat's another one that deals with again the what's going on with the environment, but it's just some very tough guitars happening, and there's just purposeful anger going on within the song. Both of those songs are excellent. This album has 19 songs on here, and they go anywhere from his distaste of fast food to Not liking the people, the other bands that are on the bill with him. Okay, well, there you have it. And global warming is a big part of it. It's definitely a darker mood. On here, but yet I'm telling you, there's so much great guitar playing happening, and if this is just a very, very strong album. I mean, you have a song like "I Can't Breathe," which is really like folk rock. Then you have the hard, crunching guitars on there. What was it? "Hang a Wire," "Hang on a Wire," I believe. I hate when they're kind of, these songs are like this. "Hung on a Wire." That's the last song. Just incredible, these guitars going on. I mean, he's in top form. You know, some of the Bevis Frond albums is so. And I didn't know he was putting out anything recently. And so I just happened to find this when I was Tice. It's like, wow, this is great. I totally loved this album. It's 2 record set. The Bevis Frond, Focus on Nature. Well done, Nick Solomon. Great job. I'm proud of you. Let's do another album then, just for the fun of it. And we're going to go back. We got Curve. This is it has a fun texture on here. Wow. It's, it's music on vinyl. Curve, formed in 90, broke up in 94. Hey, they tried it again in 96, broke up like in the odds. Alt rock, electronic, and it's a duo. And of Tony Holiday and Dean Garcia. And the vinyl here, look, yeah, you know. Wow, Tangerine. That is a tangerine and nothing else special there. Nice textured cover though. And look at the cover. Creepy babies. Lots of creepy babies. You know, back in the 60s, in the 70s, you know, those are the kind of dolls that, you know, all the kids would get, all the girls. I mean, my sisters, they had those. And then as a brother, you know, the best part of them is you could rip the heads off. Yeah, you know, that's just something you did. You went and you ripped the heads off. I think everyone did that, but yeah, there's a lot of creepiness there on that cover. So Curve's done 5 studio albums. Doppelganger, this one is their very first album, and their first full-length album, shall I say, and Flood produced this one. So the music on here is kind of breathy, dreamy vocals over the top of layers of throbbing guitar, dense keyboards, sledgehammer type drumming. Okay, so shoegaze, but not necessarily shoegaze, shall we say. You know, there's songs like Already Yours, I believe, which I'm going to play you a sample of, and then Wish You Dead, which were fast and hard and just filled with attitude. I think I play a sample of Wish You Dead too. I really like them. I mean, again, it's just this power that's coming out. You have slower songs on here too. For instance, like Sandpit was one. Fait accompli. It's French. So screw it. You know what? But it begins with an F, okay? And it's 4-letter word beginning with F, and not an English one that we think about. But those were slower songs, and on those it allowed Tony's vocals to come out. Now they ride over the top. Otherwise, like anything, kind of a shoegaze type stuff, they get buried down there. And she's a very good vocalist. So those songs you could really hear her. This is menacing and dark, but again, kind of playful. And it's just a powerful assault. So there, you got 2 dark albums in a row. We're just... yeah, maybe I was mad this week. I was probably that lawn furniture I had to pick out of the freaking pool made me mad. So, yeah, Curb, Doppelganger, the album of creepy dolls. Yeah, one of my sisters would still find those creepy. Moving on, folks. Hank Mobley. There we go. A tone poet. A caddy for daddy. Isn't that just the coolest thing? A caddy for daddy from Hank Mobley. And we got here, no crease break. There's the group. Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, McCoy Tyner, Bob Crenshaw, and Billy Higgins. There they all are. Look at that. Look at them go. This is great. I bought it because look at it, cool. It's a car, man. I love old cars. Also, again, with a lot of the tone poets on Amazon, if you watch, they go on sale. And, it's like 30% off. So now suddenly the tone poet becomes more affordable. And for my buddy George, George, I have to show some jazz once in a while just for you. That's George Scott up in Scotland. Great jazz channel. I mean, this guy knows his stuff. He listens to other stuff too, but man, he knows his jazz. So, Caddy, this is Hank Mobley, tenor saxophone player, hard bop, born in 30, passed in 86. And just in case you care, you go, hey, is he still around? No, he's not. My mom was born in 30. She's still around, though. Hank's not. So, good for my mom. But A Caddy for Daddy. This came out in 1965. And this is wonderful. This is extremely infectious, finger-snapping music. This thing just is fun. It's fun. There's only 6 tracks on here, but they're extended jams. They really go out. Hank Mobley wrote 5 of the 6, and I believe Lee Morgan wrote the other. No, Wayne Shorter wrote the other one on here, but Lee Morgan's on trumpet on here too. And yeah, this is really good stuff. Morning After has just a fantastic sax solo, which I did not tape for you, but just trust me, I really liked that sax solo. There are no ballads. I like that. I mean, I just, when I listen to jazz, I want to go, yeah, man, all right, groovy, oh, cool. Be a cool cat. That's what I love. I mean, yeah, you got the ballads. I guess they're okay, but nah, I like the upbeat stuff. I like to snap my fingers. Third Time Around, also on here, was just a great song. It had this wonderful swing beat happening, almost like a big band type feel, but definitely a swing beat, and it was so much fun to listen to. This is great. I truly enjoyed this one. Wonderful jazz album, one that you can play again and again and just go, yeah, cool, real cool. Hank Mobley. Caddy for Daddy. What a great name. Yeah. So, okay, so we had a caddy. Now let's have a crawdaddy. From the caddy to the crawdaddies. Okay, that kind of worked out, didn't it? I didn't even think about that. And it's on mono. This is the very first album released on Vox Records, which was part of Bump. Now, Crawdaddys are from San Diego, and you look at that and go, wow, this is a nice band, cool band from the 60s. Well, you be wrong. They formed in 79, broke up in 84. But they were into 60s style rhythm and blues. They were not really inspired by the garage rock of the 60s. They were inspired by Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Willie Dixon. And you hear it on here. You hear the blues. Now, when you look at them, they look like a very early Pretty Things or a very early Rolling Stones, which is kind of what they were going for. One of the founders, Rick Silvo, he was huge. He was a Beatles fanatic. Loved him to death. His friend, though, and again, they met in 9th grade, was Steve Potterf. He was into Kiss, Aerosmith, Jethro Tull. And so they kind of got together and they worked out what they liked, and they went the blues route. So I don't know how that all worked out. But after high school, they assembled a band, and they just wanted to give it a 60s look. All the way down to the clothing that they wore, their haircuts went 60s. And they did a hell of a job with it, didn't they? I mean, this is just filled with 60s R&B, British invasion songs, classics on here, with also a lot of blues standards. There's only 2 original songs on here, but you've got songs from Willie Dixon on here, John Lee Hooker. There's Van Morrison. He has something on here. T-Bone Burnett. And there, Willie Dixon. It's very bluesy sounding, very cool. It is like the British invasion of the 60s when they were really doing the electric blues. That's what you get off this thing. I used to have this, so I guess I could have put it in. Used to have it. Now it's back in my collection again, but it's nice to see it. One of those cool garage rock albums that were coming out in the late 70s and the 80s that I truly adore. So great stuff from the Crawdaddys. Last week, we talked shoes. A lot of you knew the shoes. A lot of you said, hey, here's the shoes that you need. Well, and I got to think, okay, well, if I'm doing shoes, I might as well show shirts too. So let's do the shirts. Next week, we're doing pants. I'm going to see if I have maybe Los Pantalones, that would be the Spanish version. Wouldn't be surprised if I have something like that. But yeah, this is we're going to end with clothing once again. So the shirts came out of New York, formed in '75, broke up in '81, and actually the name came about. One of the members, his band had just broke up, and he was just in the bad mood. And they go, "What should we call it?" And he just gets mad. He goes, "I don't care what you call it. You can call it you can call it shirts. You can call it pants. You can call it shoes. Yeah, call it the shirts." So, in a bit of rage and not happy about things, they came out to be the shirts. Cool. I wonder if they ever rethought that. Go, yeah, kind of lame, but yeah, the shoes, yeah, they like their name and they're still going. The shirts are not. So these guys started CBGBs, one of the CBGB bands, but they were definitely more pop. There is nothing punk happening in here, folks. It is definitely more pop, kind of almost like an 80s feel. The name of the album is called Inner Sleeve, and it was their third album, and it came out in 1980. So maybe their first album was more punkish. And there is the Inner Sleeve, and look at them. Wow, yes, sirree. Pretty exciting, dated stuff. Now you pull that out and you get that. So we need to put the Inner Sleeve back into the Inner Sleeve vinyl Richie, so we have the good picture. There's some pretty good pop songs on here. Time was one of them I really liked on here. The very last song on here. Where were a couple of theirs? I'm Not One of Those was pretty good. A few others. I mean, the album, it's okay. Okay, it's nothing great. Annie Golden, she has a very strong voice. She's the lead singer, but the voice, at times, it's not my favorite vocalist in the world. This was their third album, their last album. Capitol only put out 10,000 of them, and it just kind of sank. So, it just didn't do much, and the group sank with it. That was the end of it. So, yeah, it's okay. If you like, that's not power pop. I don't know. It's more just 80s, kind of an 80s pop on this one. Maybe the very first shirts would have more of that punk edge, possibly, but okay. Inner Sleeve, the shirts. So that's what we have, for this pre-recorded episode. But we can't miss a Sunday, and I'm going to be in Nebraska. It's kind of hard to do it from the Holiday Inn Express. Holiday Express has great cinnamon rolls, but otherwise, I stayed at them way too much as like breakfast there. But it's free. Shirt, Michael. Look at that, Near Wild Heaven. Cleveland's burning, baby. That's the river there that was on fire. So, Michael, I know you appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Check out on my podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records. This week, Jim Gleason and I are going to be talking about essential albums. What is essential albums, and are they really essential? And we're going to look at some that maybe we think aren't essential. So that's you can find it on the channel Radio Wasteland Records, or on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Facebook, Two Guys Talking About Records. So please check that out. Of course, I have a midweek and maybe a third one too. I'm working on a couple things. I got stacks of records. I just got to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Truly appreciate it. Have yourself a great week. Bye.